Hello class, I hope you're having a great week so far and enjoying this beautiful month of June. So looking at this week's forum and discussing the core attributes of APU has definitely been the faith integration. At first, when I started the program and I saw that they were integrating faith into the program, I thought that's nice. But as I continued with my studies and life continued to get busy for a wife, mother, who also worked and was working on her master's, I found out it was very much needed. So busy that actually having an assignment that wanted me to look into the Bible or look at a verse and integrate that into what my future career would hold or what's going on in my life currently or something that had happened in the past was very, very beneficial. It really helped me to continue my personal relationship with Jesus through my program during those busy times. And as most people know, the busier you are, the more you need to strengthen that relationship with Christ. And so I really appreciate that. As far as knowing APU's core attributes before attending, I didn't look into it at all. In fact, APU was not one of my choices of colleges or universities to attend. When I decided to make the career change, I started doing some research and found it to be very overwhelming, trying to figure out which program would be best, if they had online courses, if I needed to attend in person. There was just so many different things. And then the finances. That one day in frustration, I just said, God, if you seriously, truly want me to have this career change, I need you to tell me which college it is and just open up the doors and make it happen quick. And literally APU got dropped in my lap. And in the process, I was still being a little bit stubborn. And there was a couple of deadlines coming up, and I was very lazy in trying to get things done for those deadlines. And miracles happened, and all the deadlines were met. And I was even told by some of the people in the APU office, I seriously doubt you're going to get in at this time. You probably need to wait for the next enrollment. But God made it happen. So I'm very appreciative of that. As far as how my values line up with APUs, they line up pretty much with everything that was said there. One thing that really stood out to me that I liked was the student care, that whole section. But I liked how it talked about if there is an issue, that if it's intentional or unintentional, that there will be steps taken in order to help with reconciliation. And I really liked that. But I also liked, not only as a student, but as a parent, all the student care that's offered there, because if you are a student and this is like your first time away from home, and you're the parent of that child, just knowing that they had all those different types of diverse student care elements there is very reassuring. So I really like that. As far as what my life on film would be, I thought that was kind of funny to try to think of. But my whole reason for the career change, my whole reason for doing what I do right now is my goal is to one day live in a world where no child has type 2 diabetes. And I guess the biggest influencer on that would be my son. At the time he was diagnosed with type 1, which means his pancreas quit producing insulin. He has no choice. It doesn't matter how much he exercises, how well he eats, his pancreas simply died. And at the time he was diagnosed, he was 13 and he was running over 30 miles a week, eating healthy, and it just didn't matter. His pancreas died. But we have so many children today that have type 2 diabetes, and it's basically they don't exercise and eat correctly, and the obesity has caused them to have a disease. And it just breaks my heart. Our world was changed upside down. And when you have to watch your child take a needle and prick their finger 10 to 12 times a day just to test the blood sugar and see where they're at, when they then literally have to give themselves a shot in the arm or the leg or the bottom or the stomach at minimum of 4 times a day, when you have to go to someone's house and you have to say, can my child eat their dessert with their meal so he only has to take 1 shot of insulin instead of 2? when you have to go to a restaurant and you're supposed to take the shot of insulin 15 minutes before you eat, and the food has now been 20 minutes, and you're saying, I need you to bring my son something, because if not, he's actually going to pass out. When you have to wake up every single night at 3 a.m. to test your son's blood sugar to make sure he doesn't die in the middle of the night, because he has almost died so many times while he was sleeping. The list goes on. I mean, everything he had to go through just to get a driver's license. It took 6 months to get his permit because he's a type 1 diabetic. The nightmare after nightmare after nightmare we lived through. He was the only kid in high school that had his mommy at every single practice and every single competition to make sure he didn't die. It's a struggle. And to think that there are so many children who are living with a disease and they shouldn't have to, it breaks my heart. And so that's my mission. My mission is to help prevent any children from having type 2 diabetes, and the ones that do have it, or the ones who are pre-diabetic, to teach them how they can reverse it, and to help them with proper exercise and nutrition. And that is my life mission. That is my goal, and that's how I plan to give back. And it's very rewarding. It's very rewarding. I've had students this year who have came up to me and they said, yeah, I tell my parents now to park in the very back of the parking lot so that we have farther to walk when we go to the grocery store. And how we need to take the stairs instead of just walking or taking the elevator. So many different little things, just little changes. And I have students, they're making so many different changes with their physical activity, and I'm so proud of them. And I know that it may only be one step at a time, but it's a journey worth taking. And so that's my story. Have a great week. We'll talk to you later.